underway at Maine Road, with both teams coming from recent games when they haven't done themselves justice. And it was an expensive lapse by Manchester United. Phelan pushing on.
Might take Manchester City a little bit of time to get used to this formation.
They're just doing a bit of passing over, as you said that, Andy, because Alan Kernahan, Keith Curl just swapped roles. Curl, for a moment, had been marking Cantona and then dropped into mark the space, and Kernahan went across to keep the Frenchman under his gaze.
A little bit of gamesmanship there, I think. They lined up certainly with Keith Curl as a left-sided centre-back and Kernahan in the position where we've all expected Keith Curl to be playing. But as you see there, Curl's just dropped off. Certainly looks like he's going to be the sweeper. One thing I'll want to know is whether Vaughan and Kernahan will mark areas or whether they'll stick rigidly in man-for-man on Hughes and Cantona. We'll let the viewers know about that as it evolves.
So Manchester City have a free kick. And it's the first chance for them to perhaps serve something up for Niall Quinn in the air. Steve McMahon has just addressed the referee's attention to the state of the ball. Kernahan's come up. McMahon takes it. Sharp trying to find a route out of trouble for United. And Richard Edgehill, his first derby. And Tony Coton, if that's an indication of Manchester City's confidence, well, they could be in for a good afternoon. The tackles are sure to fly in.
Certainly to start with. I mean, Mike Sheeran not known for going and hurting people there. You can see how late he is there, but he's just anxious to retrieve what was miscontrolled from himself.
City, as their name suggests, really deep down are the Manchester club, through a lot of their support from close to home. Half their side come from the northwest. But Manchester United so much more cosmopolitan. Sharp. Sharp with this strong connection with the opposite camp in the shape of his younger brother John, who's a first-year professional with Manchester City.
Well, who's he supporting today on Monday?
Well, he said to me before the game he wouldn't mind a 4-3 City win with Lee getting all the 3 United goals.
That's fair.
It's about getting the right balance between family and football. Cantona. Team trying to help it wide. It wasn't easy for Parker to take, not easy at all. And David White steps in, Quinn ahead of him. White, who's been telling Brian Horton that he wants to play more through the middle. McMahon through the middle at the moment is Quinn, a scorer in both derbies last season. Cantona laying it off, hoping to involve Kanchelskis. Sharp. Here's Michel Vonk, the Dutchman, back from injury. He's been used as a substitute in emergency in the last couple of games as a striker.
Well, I've had 1 or 2 complaints about the ball, and it looks like the referee's decided to change it, and he agrees with Steve McMahon. He picked up very early.
He's been around long enough to know what it should feel like with the right touch. Here's Pallister. Mark Hughes, who, it's easy to say, but was badly missed in Turkey. Cantona, who was hand in hand with controversy there. Look at the acceleration from Kanchelskis, giving City the first touch of defensive bother.
Terry Phelan went to sleep, Martin. It's quite simple as that. Kanchelskis burned him up.
So it's a corner with 5 minutes gone at Maine Road for Manchester United. Ince. Cleared by Kernahan. Dennis Irwin, who was picked out with Eric Cantona by Alec Ferguson as two players he felt did do themselves justice in Istanbul. McMahon. Edgehill, who was settled to life at the top very quickly. Flitcroft. Bruce came in crisply and then found Gary Flitcroft harrying him.
Wasn't the greatest ball from Flitcroft into David White, though. Didn't really give the striker as he is today a chance to get hold of it.
Won by Edgehill. White trying to whip it in behind Gary Pallister, who picked it off rather easily. Pallister, as you would expect, keeping close to Niall Quinn. Size for size, that's the best option that Manchester United have. It does mean at the moment that he's on the right-hand side of Steve Bruce, which isn't always the case. Glanced on by Sharp. City just settling to their shape as Coton kicked. Flicked on well, first of all by Quinn, then by Phelan. But Sheeran couldn't capitalise on that. Kanchelskis. Terry Phelan had gone forward then and was nowhere near Kanchelskis as Manchester United tried to pick up the tempo.
That's what Keith Carroll's there for. That's why he's the spare man, though. Allows Terry Phelan, as he is again there. He's the furthest man upfield. Terry Phelan past Niall Quinn.
Bruce. Now Parker. There's a great run by Keane. His trademark really. Hughes is in the middle. And this is it. And so too does Sharp. And City breathe a sigh of relief.
Gary Flitcroft breathes a sigh of relief, Mark. He's responsible for... He's trying to play offside. He's a midfield player. But if ever you want to dissect two players, it's exactly what happens. It's half a yard behind Hughes and half a yard in front of Sharp.
Well, actually couldn't have fallen worse for Manchester United.
Split the players perfectly. Roy Keane.
Bruce. Hughes. Crowd here of just under 40,000. Officially 5,500 tickets from Manchester United. But you'd have a little bet that there might be more supporting them. Ince with an unusual stray one. Pause for handball by Bruce, it's been given. White was trying to thread it through for Quinn. Steve McMahon, brain working overtime, looked around to try and take a quick free kick then. He got a bit of movement down the right-hand side from Edgehill, but it wasn't an easy pass. And now they go for perhaps a more conventional set play.
Looks like it's going to go very straight.
Not to Quinn. But in the end, it was met quite solidly by Bonk. Kernahan this time. Quinn trying to turn. Flitcroft. Brian Horton, who is quite a tough character himself as a player, does believe in a passing game and that City should build from the back. Irwin.
If they're brave enough to do that, Mark, I really can see them getting a little bit of joy in. Certainly the centre of midfield. Already Mike Sheeran has picked himself up some nice positions in there. And what Paul Ince has got a problem with is, does he go back with Sheeran as a thought, or does he push on and wait for Flitcroft or McMahon? That's his problem. At the moment, he's tending to pick up Sheeran when he comes in, and then when the ball goes back to one of the other midfield players, he's moving towards them. But it is a problem for him.
And it's one reason why Steve McMahon's had a little bit of the ball early on. Keane, Bruce, Ince. The committed here don't really worry how the game is won, as long as it is won in their particular favour. Sharp. Put out by Von.
Lovely passing movement there. Passing move, passing move. Right from the edge of their own box.
Foul by Hughes on Curl. Two players who live very close to each other, will be pretty close to each other in this match, but the neighbours won't be friends over the next 90 minutes. Irwin. White. Quinn calling for it, and Bonk saw that and obliged. Alistair with the longer of the two legs. Put it on by Parker. And so far, this new defensive system hasn't been overstretched. Just the one run from midfield that really unhinged it by Roy Keane. Flitcroft. Very much in the up-and-coming category. Well, it's dropped for Richard Edgehill to in the centre of the city. Sheeran and Phelan. And it is a corner, although Manchester United aren't very happy about that in the shape of Schmeichel.
Don't understand what his problem is. Peter Schmeichel, I'm not sure what he's complaining about there. Whether he's thinking he's offside, there's certainly no signs of it there. Edgehill doing exactly what his manager wants and pushing forward as far as he wants to do.
And certainly a corner, which Sheeran will take. Defended by Sharp.
Sticking a lot of bodies in front of Schmeichel. They know that this goalkeeper's quite comfortable coming for crosses.
He comes and then goes back. United have coped. McMahon. Curl was down for a moment. A bit of wrestling going on the edge of the area. And now the referee has a good look at more contact between Keane and Schmeichel. And in terms of being a Mr. Angry, he's a good successor to Les Seeley, Peter Schmeichel.
Oh, and he's a big lad as well. Hey, one up for Roy Keane there. He's knocked the big man down.
Roy Keane, the former amateur boxer. Look after himself. McMahon.
It's almost as if United are having a few problems of their own, getting to grips with this City formation. They haven't quite settled at all.
Well, Brian Horton determined to try and keep it as quiet as he could for as long as he could. There's been a lot of rumour in the Manchester area, but you'd expect that with a derby coming up. But it's not just for this game, I stress. He was disappointed he didn't have the courage of his convictions to play it at West Ham. But so well had Manchester City been developing that Brian Horton felt he just had to go with the system that had brought them a reasonable run of results up to that last league game at Upton Park. David Moss's assistant on the right as we look down there. Sharp. Hughes. All a bit tight for Manchester United. Little triangle involving Sharp and Irwin as well. City have to concede the throw. Losing out with Irwin. And it's a goal kick.
It certainly looked a goal. I can't believe that. I think that expression tells you everything from Mark Hughes. I don't know whether it was the referee or the linesman. See the outside of the right foot from Cantona. What else? Something like that. And we can see quite clearly Keith Curl heads that away for a corner.
Alex Ferguson absolutely determined that his team won't suffer the slump that Leeds United suffered a year ago and Arsenal the year before that, when they fell out of Europe prior to the Champions League situation. And the great prize in itself was thanks from the players. Well, they were responsible for it, really, particularly in the first leg against Galatasaray. Hardly credit when they were 2 up so early that we'd be talking about them 2 weeks later as not being in the competition anymore. Michael's kick. And City just couldn't get to the ball quick enough. Ince was the main reason for that. And then Flitcroft catches it. And Peter Schmeichel is back at base.
Just about. But he's normally dealt with things like that, Peter Schmeichel, very well all season. But that, one of the poorest. But look at this. If anyone's wondering about commitment in local derbies, look at these two. Flying into each other.
Flying now is Lee Sharp. Kanchelskis, Keane behind him, hit it very well indeed. From a tight angle, pumped it into the chest of Tony Coton.
Oh, that was a wonderful strike. Arrives at him in the half volley, just as he would have wanted it. And he doesn't disappoint, he really doesn't. It's a tight angle. It's always going to be difficult to score, but he does what he should do. And that hits the target. Look at the pace it is. Coton can't hold on to it.
It was the curl on the cross that deceived Kanchelskis, who had gone in well at the far post and then found the ball just veering behind him.
Just wonder if anyone noticed a little tug on Andre Kanchelskis' shirt at the top of the screen, Mark, from Terry Phelan as he was going into the box.
Flitcroft. Shearer. Space for City here, but not for long. Thanks for United to Lee Sharp. Owen's ball, and Keane has caught them out again. And Coton protected the goal. And the warning signs are out. Roy Keane has staked his claim here.
Well, if you're playing a sweeper, Mark, you've got to be prepared for this, and he's got to be there. At first I thought Tony Coton made the wrong decision and went back towards his goal. The goalkeeper proves he was right. Makes a fine save. Well, that's twice now in the opening 17 minutes that Roy Keane's got himself through. Then I've got to decide, the sweeper's got to either be there in the middle of that trio to cope with runs like that, or one in the midfield too has got to track him all the way back. And I think that's the questions that are coming from the sidelines at the moment. Where were you?
Yes, I think the decision is perhaps not being made initially by the players, but the instructions coming from the bench. But Tony Coton was the last line of defence there, and he didn't fail Manchester City.
When we talk about three centre-backs, Mark playing in alignment, but if you're going to play against Manchester United, I think your spare centre-back is going to be what we always term a sweeper. He's got to give himself some distance so he can cope with people running from midfield, because Manchester United put so much emphasis on that part of their game, runners from deep.
And it's the absolute essence of Roy Keane's game. It's what brought him to the attention with Nottingham Forest. The first time he was away, it was a cross that neither Hughes nor Sharp could quite find. And this time he couldn't find the back of the net himself, thanks to Tony Coton. Although there is plenty of intensity in the challenging for the ball, in a way it's been a footballing start to the derby. City trying to build with passes through midfield. Twice Manchester United have cut them apart without getting the goal. McMahon now with the free kick. Good touch from Cantona. Hughes there to help him. Kanchelskis always a way out on the right. Parker. Cantona trying to come across the line of vision of Keith Curle then and catch him by surprise.
That was better. Better positioning from Curle there.
Well, it's not exactly been his week, has it?
Well, he's got so much ability, it makes things look so easy. You don't expect him to be able to take a throw in. It's just too every day for him, isn't it?
Well, you expect him to turn it into an art form. Now, the scurrying figure of Terry Phelan. David White applauding the service. It was Dennis Irwin who found himself having to watch White, obviously not as tall and not close enough to stop the header.
I just wonder, could he have taken on his chest, Martin? I may be doing him a disservice here as it comes in. It is a little bit high, and heading, certainly from 18 yards, not one of David White's strong points. I think he showed that quite clearly there. But it's a good positive break from Terry Phelan.
Hughes. Sharp was coming inside edge here, which was a good position, but the ball wasn't played where he wanted it. Now he reclaims it for the cross. Ince. It's good work again from Keane, who's revelling in his first taste of an occasion like this. Sheeran. White to the right. Quinn to his left. Phelan making up some ground. Sheeran still on the ball, and Quinn comes in and plants another header past Peter Schmeichel and scores for the third derby in a row, and Manchester City have drawn first blood here at Maine Road.
It's a fabulous break from penalty box to penalty box, and just when I was wondering, does he know what he's going to do with the cross, because Quinn had pulled wonderfully onto Parker. Couldn't have asked for a better scenario there. Look at that, he pulls onto the smallest Manchester United player. The cross is inch perfect, and Niall Quinn doesn't often miss those.
Well, Peter Schmeichel must be sick at the sight of Niall Quinn, because not only is he scoring past him at will, it seems, in these Manchester derbies, he also scored for the Republic of Ireland against Denmark last season as well. And Quinn's latest effort at Schmeichel's expense means it's Manchester City 1, Manchester United 0. We're halfway through the first half. And a pat on the back for Brian Horton, playing Mike Sheeran in that position where he found space and was able to move on and find the cross converted by Quinn.
Well, their adventurism get punished in Manchester United. It's totally emptied the midfield area. The whole four of them are ahead of the ball. It broke down at the edge of the box, and Sheeran was off on a 60, 70, 80-yard run that finished in a wonderful cross and a super header from Niall Quinn.
Well, we know all about the class of United. Now we're going to find something out about the character.
Well, they've shown us already this season, and they showed us many times last season that they can go down in a game, but they've got the ability and the determination to get back into games.
And when they came here last season, they also went behind to a Niall Quinn header. It finished 1-1. Cantona equalised, but Quinn.
Well, midway through the first half, Stuart, Niall Quinn there, the goal scorer. You have to say City are well on top, aren't they?
Yeah, it's been a tremendous start for City, and I'll hands up to Brian Horton, who's changed the tactics a little bit, put three up front, Sheeran in the hole with Quinn and Big Whitey through the middle, and if United's back four don't pick them up, they'll have a few more problems.
Well, we talked about Mike Sheeran, Martin, and he has got that little bit of space, but what he's done already is used that to greater advantage than when we watched Paul Merson play that same role at Old Trafford recently.
Parker. Here's Hughes. Header from a long way out by Keane. Well, I was talking to some City fans at the start of last week, and they said what we want is for Manchester United to go out of Europe and then to win the derby. The cup would run over if that happened. Well, it's certainly a possibility. But here's Cantona. Kept at bay by Curl, tidied up by McMahon.
what makes games for me, Martin. A goal in the opening quarter of the game. Especially local derbies can become very tense, tight and fraught if it stays 0-0 for any length of time. We've got the goal now. We know at least one team, and that team Manchester United will be flying, looking for it. But let's admire this header again from Niall Quinn. That looks so easy, doesn't it? Let me tell you, it's not. There's about a yard of a gap, maybe 6 feet of a gap there to plant that header in, and he picked it out perfectly.
Straighter ball towards him this time, and Robbie Hart sees nothing wrong with United's attempts to get the better of Niall Quinn there. White chasing, and Steve Bruce had said to Schmeichel, "That's yours," and David White, who is by no means a dirty player, had a sight of the ball then, and he will feel totally justified for going for it.
Well, you can see there he's totally justified, because he's not going for the goalkeeper at all, and that's why he didn't make contact with the goalkeeper. He saw the ball, he had a glimpse of it, he went for it, the goalkeeper beat him to it. No harm done.
There's no offside. I'd like to have had David White perhaps in that position, but Quinn keeping it going. Into play with Sheeran. It's McMahon trying to steer it. McMahon. They lead the game, they're dictating the game. Irwin. Hughes wanting it to feet and getting it from Keane. Keane again. Here's Irwin. Cantona and Hughes swapping positions in the centre. Sharp getting the better of Edgehill.
That's the one who's got to miss the goalkeeper out. You get very tight to the byline, you're level with the 18-yard box. What you're looking for in that situation, I always feel, is a bit of height. Stand it up, because you know the goalkeeper's attracted to his near post. He's normally so very good, Lee Sharp, from those areas.
Coming up tomorrow, live game from the FA Carling Premiership. We're staying up here in the northwest. Oldham against Newcastle, sure to be a footballing occasion. Cantona. Here's Flitcroft. Plenty of avenues again for City to exploit. White. Phelan. Flitcroft's first touch was not soft enough on the ball, and that's led to United breaking with 3 up through Kanchelskis. Here's Hughes. Irwin linking in as well. The craft of Cantona. Keane. Sharp. Going to be a testing occasion this for Edgehill. Irwin. Well, City had players behind the ball, but not close enough to Mark Hughes. Eventually the cross picked off by Kernahan. Parker trying to offer a give and go to Kanchelskis. It goes back to Pallister. As Keith Curley got his head to it. Parker coming in, and Steve McMahon alongside the referee, as he likes to be sometimes, to have a word, saying surely that was a foul.
I had to agree with him, Martin, because he really launches himself, Paul Parker, at this. Kernan gets a header, and I think Paul Parker's no real chance of winning that, and I'm a little bit surprised no free kick was given.
Just in the stoppage here, and the have a look at it, Andy.
You see that there, Mark? Right into his back. I think no real ambition to win the ball.
Just to go back to the goal, there has been criticism of the way Manchester City have played from time to time under other managers, mainly with Niall Quinn, and hitting maybe too many straight balls at him and really just basing their game on that. But when the angle is right, as Quinn has shown with the goal, he's got a lot to offer.
I think it was one of the things I said against West Ham, Mark. In the 90 minutes, Niall Quinn didn't receive one cross from the area that Mike Sheeran produced one from today.
Nicely played back to Parker by Pallister. Sheeran. Here's Keane. Keane and sharp. That's what Manchester United have got to be, really. Well, H.O. played the ball.
We saw Richard H.O.'s debut on Sky Sports against Wimbledon.
Here's White. Set away superbly by Quinn. There's no real support at the moment. And he's a bit lucky, David White, that might stay in for Terry Phelan. That certainly wasn't what was designed. McMahon. In goes Quinn again! It's two! Well, the fortune came earlier in the move. But in the end, it was a fine finish.
And they've got so much to thank Terry Phelan for. They really have, Martin. But it can't be City's day to get away with a horrendous error from David White to such an extent that they profit with another fine header from Niall Quinn. We said it earlier in the day, provide this lad with service from the right areas and he will trouble any centre-half in the country with his ability. He's had two crosses to go and thrive on, and he hasn't disappointed with either. Two fine headers, but not great defending from Manchester United, it has to be said. They got caught, whether they come out, whether they drop back in and defend the header, and got it wrong.
Well, the partnership restored, Pallister and Bruce today. But they haven't been able to stamp their usual authority on proceedings. And just to go back to where that all started from, it was Quinn, of course, who sent David White away. They were struggling to get players up in support. White just hammering it, I'm sure, trying to find a gap inside the far post with a shot. But Terry Phelan, who hadn't lost his concentration, as Andy was saying.
Gave a great example to young kids watching that you should never give things up, never assume you can't retrieve a situation. He's been a revelation in the opening half hour for me. He's been the reason that formation is working. Not so much Richard H.O. looked a little bit nervy, but Phelan has been bombing up that line. Every opportunity.
Terry Phelan, who grew up as a Manchester United fan.
He told me that earlier.
All his family are United fans. All his friends are United fans. And until he signed for City, he was a red through and through.
All his ex-friends are United fans.
This is Cantona. Ince deflected. The United corner. Well, there have been some amazing derbies here in recent times. The Maine Road massacre, of course, when United were on the receiving end, 5-1 in 1989. Since then, there's been a 3-3 draw here. Kanchelskis. Here's Flitcroft. Well, there seemed no way out of that. And another little cameo of the confidence that Manchester City have and they should have. They're 2 goals up.
It's like West Ham on Monday, isn't it? An early goal against Manchester City, and suddenly the confidence was there and they're flowing. Look at Manchester United, Mark. All I see at the moment, Gary Pallister normally very calm, very composed. Even he's reacting like that. A very rash challenge there. And they've just got to get the composure back. This is the biggest test this season, without a doubt.
And Niall Quinn, of course, is on a hat-trick. The last City player to do that. Perhaps I almost don't mention his name. A certain Francis Lee. Back in 1970. And that was at Old Trafford. From the slagging.
Well, let's have another look at Niall Quinn's second header. McMahon, he knows where to put balls into danger areas. They don't know whether to come out or drop off, but Quinn knows where he's going. Look at that, he's up early. Pallister can do nothing about it, and that ball nestles beautifully in the corner.
Peter Schmeichel was already on the ground as the ball went past him. It was a dive into an area, really. He knew he had very little chance. Ince trying to pick up the tempo. Too quick for McMahon. Keane challenged by Kernahan. There was a very honest approach by Roy Keane, who was only concentrating on getting his shot away when he could have got a free kick.
It was an important challenge from Kernahan as well. It was a difference between having a shot from Roy Keane totally unchallenged or having one under pressure. And that made the difference.
Cantona. Here's Parker. Kamchelskis. Made a good angle for his cross. Well, one player on the pitch who you feel might accomplish a goal from that almost impossible angle was the one who attempted the effort.
Well, certainly if there's a player here capable of executing this properly, probably Mark Hughes would take exception to that.
Yeah. I put my apology in there.
But Cantona, we wouldn't have been surprised at all had that been on target. I think that's what we're trying to say. In fact, you're more surprised when he doesn't hit the target.
Sharp. Well, filling the space there behind Edgehill was not the sweeper, Curl. Irwin. Means so much to Manchester United if they could get one back before the half-time break. They'll come out for the second half, having burst some of the City bubble. But it's very effervescent play again from David White, who took the wrong turning.
You know, when people have got that much pace as David White has, Mark, when he's facing up a defender, I'd love to see them just knock it on the outside and get after it. Really stretch people. But twice David White's been in that situation, he came back inside, and it's just, moves just died away to nothing.
Parker. Pallister, who did play in the Maine Road massacre along with Ince and Hughes and Lee Sharp, who came on as a substitute. Hughes. Owen Irwin was checking because he knew he'd gone offside.
Thought for a second Hughes was just going to pull the trigger. Worked himself an opening. Just as it comes, just as it goes inside there, just thought, is he going to hit it? But he was looking for a very delicate pass in there. You can see Irwin had just strayed offside.
The mention of that Francis Lee hat-trick really takes us back to when City were supreme in Manchester. Franny actually scored in 5 consecutive derby games.
What's that? It's Quinny on his way. 3, is it?
3. Goals here, and now they go for arms being raised. Hughes in the centre, Flitcroft and White involved. Quinn now.
Well, it all sparked off from Mark Hughes, and now Quinn was on the ground. They really did. The Manchester City players take exception to the challenge. And I think what we see now is the lads out for a little bit of their own. And it just escalates from there. But the real damage was when Hughes went into Quinn. That's what upset the City players and upset David White to such an extent that he's been booked.
And I don't think Robbie Hart's finished yet laying down the law here.
I think Mark Hughes is the one who's been called out.
Well, he walks a fine line between being the most competitive of forwards.
This is the one, though, Mark. You see Quinn's body's between him and the ball, and up goes the leg, down it comes on the thigh, onto the other knee. And I think, look, David White, look at the view he's got of it. That's what incensed him so much. And I tell you now, Quinn wasn't too happy either.
Well, they've got to keep him on the ground somehow. Cantona. Well, City understandably wanting to push forward at every opportunity. Flip cross. Here's McMahon. Didn't really want it back then, and I'm not sure that that was the intention. It was Kernahan who was calling for it out on the left. Sharp. Room for Hughes to turn. He's got Keane alongside him. Cantona coming from the left this time, and Chelskis still on his beat down the right-hand side. Hughes. Oh, almost. Coming back for Cantona, who seemed to be lacking a little in concentration then. Parker gets a talking to, but not a booking.
Good referee, and I didn't think it was a booking. And it shows that certainly one man on the pitch, the referee hasn't lost his composure. Very rash, but look how close is the referee, 3-4 yards away.
Yes, he judged the foul on its individual merits and not on the context in which it came in the game. Shortly after, mayhem had broken out. It's a free kick against Quinn. And White's kicked the ball away. He must have heard the whistle then, and he's going to get a bit of a lecture. And having just been booked,
well, it is a bookable offence, kicking the ball away.
I think the Manchester City fans scarcely able to believe what they've seen. It's not total jubilation here. More just wide-eyed and, as I say, that feeling of disbelief.
There might be one or two Man City players, supporters, with the same wide eyes and disbelief. They've had an excellent first half. They really have. Apart from a couple of scares from Roy Keane, and he wasn't picked up running deep. They've had an absolutely first-class first half. And Brian Horton will be keen that they keep it at 2-0.
Cantona. Well, Alex Ferguson will have some quick-fire talking to do.
This can't be one of his favourite grounds. Hasn't managed United to victory in the league game yet, has it?
No. Ron Atkinson was the last successful Manchester United manager here. 3-0 win in '85. A lot of draws, of course, in the interim. Shearer. Edgehill. Quinn moving in with menace in the middle again. Freeland. Appropriate, really, that the half coming to an end with Manchester City on the attack. They've worked hard on their team play since they got back from Upton Park. McMahon, oh, and Hughes.
He's in trouble this
Mark
side.
Hughes is in major trouble here. Well, Robbie Hart is showing a fair amount of understanding. McMahon came in ostensibly with eye on the ball. Hughes was bowled over as well. What about the reaction, Andy?
Well, I think the pictures say it all. McMahon certainly flew in, but to be fair to Steve McMahon, got the ball. Took the ball, took Hughes, took everything. But in, well, I was going to say in defence of Mark Hughes, I don't think there is one, looking at the pictures. Quinn? That's when we talk about Quinn's get more than just aerial ability, Mark. Aware enough to take that in his chest, turn and hit it in an instant. Only a good block stops him getting in with a hat-trick at the end of the first half.
It was a combination of Kernahan and Bonk, but it's been Niall Quinn's half. Certainly high and mighty. Well, Richard, they're trying to banish the European blues, but so far they're being beaten by the Manchester Blues and by Niall Quinn in particular, who had as good a record as any forward in the division against them last season, and is relishing the opportunity to take on the league leaders and serve the City cause, but of course also, Andy, serve the cause of the chasing clubs as well.
Oh, undoubtedly. Certainly the supporters of Norwich, Aston Villa, Leeds, the Liverpools, the Arsenals, they'll be as pleased as the City fans about this result at the moment.
So far, a tactical triumph for Brian Horton. Not without one or two scares. The major ones provided by the running of Roy Keane from midfield. And United start along what they hope is a comeback trail with an early corner. Remember, Ryan Giggs and Brian Robson champing at the bit for the chance to come on and play a part here from the bench. Fine header by Bonk. Handball by McMahon, a matter of intent for the referee to decide on, and he said that McMahon did do it deliberately, and I think you could take the opposite point of view. But it's done and dusted now, and City have to defend the free kick. Making sure that didn't reach Keane. McMahon easing it into space, and away goes Phelan, beaten to it by Parker. Nice work by Bruce to get the better of Flitcroft and get the throw. It's Parker must have heard something to make him laugh then. There's nothing to laugh about in the state of the game. Curl, Hughes, who will fight to the very last, one way or another. Sharp. The Manchester United men in the middle were going to stay there. They were sure it should have been a corner.
So was Lee Sharp. His immediate reaction was just turn and head for the corner flag. So surprised when he looked round and saw Tony Coton placing it for a goal kick. On
the say-so of the linesman. Kanchelskis. Here's Bruce. Now it's, if you're just standing off for a moment, Cantona chasing. And it's another goal kick.
They've done that quite well for me today, Mark. The whole of the first half has started it. They've been prepared to concede ground, to say to Manchester United, OK, you can have the ball 40, 45 yards from our goal. We'll get blue shirts behind it, and then it's up to you to find a way through. I think they feel far more confident with the extra centre-back in there about their ability to cope with any balls that are threaded through.
Twin. White. Through Bruce in then. Robbie Hart has refereed without any great histrionics. I suppose the one area that is possibly questionable as to whether Mark Hughes should still be on the pitch. Having kicked out just before half-time in retaliation after a challenge by McMahon. Michael backpedaling, couldn't go much further without trouble occurring. That's the way it's been going for United. Edgehill. Irwin played it off Sheeran and behind. We've got some news from down below from Nick Collins. Nick.
Thanks, Martin. Had a quick word with Brian Horton, and he apparently told his City players they must keep going and maintain their concentration in this second half, and don't try and just sit on their lead. Asked him if he was enjoying his first Manchester derby. He just smiled and said, "I'll tell you afterwards."
Well, he's not counting any chickens, and he's a wise man to treat it like that. Good touch by Schmeichel and by Parker. Here's Pallister. Hughes holding off Kernahan. Ince, key. Back for Ince again, but there was the extra man. This time it was Michel Vonk. Kanchelskis. There's been no sustained pressure throughout the match by Manchester United. That's the side that started today 8 points clear at the top, with the hope of going back to that 11-point margin. Kanchelskis. Bruce. Quinn gets it, defending from the front. Parker.
Again, though, Mark, you see, Manchester City are happy to let them have it there and then put pressure on the ball when we get into these sort of areas.
Keane. Now to get a bit nearer to the danger area. And to force a corner. Just wonder whether Brian Horton might feel that his team are just easing off a little. Perhaps Alan Kernahan's gesture there suggests that he feels it. Sharp to take the corner. 2-0 is terrific. If it's suddenly 2-1, then we really do have a game, and United could see an escape route. Cantona. Well, it's turning into be a game of headers at goal, but the ones from Manchester City are going into the goal. Pallister's over the top of Coton's crossbar.
It's a lovely ball in from Cantona. Frenchman picked the area, played it in there, head on it, go and head me for a goal. Super cross, but Pallister couldn't keep it down.
Oh, it's a mistake by Vonk. It's Cantona closing in. Manchester United are back in it. A suicidal moment for City. 2-1.
Well, it's decisions and mistakes like that that just totally change things. Not a problem for the majority of this game, and Michel Vonk presents That type of chance, man, of Cantona's ability. I don't think anyone in the ground thought this was going anywhere else other than in the back of the net. And suddenly now, one more error, and they can end up losing a game they haven't looked like doing anything but winning from about the 20th minute.
Cantona, who has mixed memories of Maine Road. He scored here for United last season. Twice a loser for Leeds by 4 goals to 0 in this stadium. Robbie Hart has to step in again. Shaw and Ince. He's keeping control without excessive use of the card, the referee. I hope that turns out to be a good policy for him. Kernahan. Here comes for Keane. And Pallister has put it wide. And City, suddenly, did we see the signs in the conceding of that earlier corner when they just backed off perhaps a little too deep?
Well, Gary Pallister's had 2 excellent chances. Maybe not by centre-half standards. He'll certainly be more disappointed with that finish. That was a chance for him, especially when Niall Quinn's got 2. And people will tag it that he was the marker and maybe the man responsible. He had a great chance there to put his own name on the score sheet.
Sharp going on against Edgehill. Well claimed by Coton. Hughes could have been missed out then, so that Cantona, who was coming in from deeper, would have had the chance. But United really buzzing now. Cantona ridding their heads of the European hangover.
Isn't football wonderful? Well, it's so composed and confident as they ran off at half-time, City. Now, total transformation, a horrendous error from Michel Vaughan. And now the confidence is surging back into United bodies.
But I offer the opinion that City fans will not be surprised at what's happened, because they are such a mercurial club, Manchester City. Just when they have built you up, down the years they've let their fans down. And it was an individual error, a sad mistake by the Dutchman Vonk that has put Manchester United back in it through the Frenchman Cantona.
They haven't had the ball, City. It's as simple as that in the second half. Manchester United have dominated possession.
Here they come again with Irwin. Now Keane, look at the room he's got. It deflected off Kernahan. And suddenly Tony Coton is a busy goalkeeper.
I was just thinking how troubled he was in the first 45 minutes. He's had more work to do in the opening 10 of the second half than he did in the whole of the first.
And they're in behind City in that right-back area again.
Showed a little bit too much to Vonk there. It's unlike Sharp.
Whether that error was an indirect result of the back pass rule. Defenders now so much in the habit of heading the ball back to their goalkeeper.
Oh, it was there to be completed the header quite comfortably. I just think it made a hash of it.
Cantona. That was a questionable throw. Determination that City need back throughout their ranks. It came from Vonk. Sheeran had plenty of room in which to express himself in the first half. He's done it again here, inviting Edgehill to move on and on and on. It would have been a corner, but for the flag being up for offside.
That's more like it. That's the best way to win this game, not to...
Michael had seen the decision, Phelan hadn't.
Well, I think just looking at the physical bills, I know who my money would have been on, but knowing Terry Phelan, I'm not so sure.
For the most part, the football has predominated. There have been flashpoints, maybe more to come. Would you not expect that in a derby? There is no love lost between the two sets of fans, and for 90 minutes here, the two sets of players. Bruce has got to get there for United. Quinn was poised. Cantona. He's got it back. He's got plenty of options on the right-hand side. Kanchelskis. Parker. City for the moment have very little answer. Keane. And it needed to be helped out of harm's way by Curl as Cantona came in.
But again, somebody puts a quality cross into the box. That just shows the difficulty there is in dealing with it. All sorts of problems for Keith Curl. But he dealt with it the only way he could. Knock it out for a corner.
Putting it back where it came from. Sharp. Pallister. Left by Bonk. Kanchelskis. And now Keane. Oh, it's very difficult to defend. It wasn't the goalkeepers. For all the sprawling motion by Tony Coton. Well, Manchester United could have gone in with just 10 men in the game. It looks as though they've come out with 12. Pallister!
Well, let's have a little look back at Eric Cantona's finish here. You see, he's got all the time in the world, but he totally misguides his header. Straight into the path of one of the coolest players in the game. Takes his time, as Coton spreads his body, he tucks it neatly underneath him.
Well, Cantona, who's been in the news for the wrong reasons, reminding us of why it's been such a treat to have him in the English game. Not that City fans will see it that way. Sharp.
Talked about it, it looks like they've come out with an extra man, Manchester United. I just wonder if they've come out with a flea in their ear from their manager. I don't think Fergie would have been too happy about that opening 45 minutes.
Bruce. Keane. Sharp. Irwin. Helped on by Kernahan.
That's criminal. Paul Ince is furious with his players. The only one that went in and committed himself into the 6-yard box off a cross of that quality. No use putting a quality ball like that in if you get no players going in after it.
Kanchelskis. A lot of work for Kernahan in particular to do at the moment. Bruce. Cantona. The spare man is Irwin. And now it's Sharp. Ince attacking it again. And this time he didn't lack company because Mark Hughes was moving in. Any sort of touch and it would have flown inside the post and beyond it.
Paul Ince here just had a little go at Eric Cantona saying, what are you doing 20 yards outside the penalty area when we're flashing crosses across the goal like this? I mean, that's what? It's about a foot away from the far post. But you can see Mark Hughes had no chance of getting on the end of it. Too much pace on it.
Bruce. City in control for so much of the first half. And Manchester United, as if they're not doing well enough in the second, have some fairly enviable alternatives if required. McMahon, Flitcroft. Goes it, forces the error. Manchester City very much on their mettle now. Jankelskis. Canahan, by his own admission, hasn't settled in very quickly after his move from Middlesbrough. I think he's enjoying the luxury of having Keith Curle behind him, but he was in the end angry with himself then, giving the ball away. Keane, delicious touch for Ince. Hughes. Cantona pulling the strings. City at the moment having to dance to United's tune. Shearer. You can detect all the anxiety and every mistake City make now from the majority of the fans at Maine Road, and with good reason.
It's amazing, isn't it? They looked so confident as we approached half-time. Every time they had the ball, Manchester City, and now they're just giving it away so needlessly, so carelessly, so easily.
They are, of course, 16 places below United. It looked the other way around in the first half. Owen. Pallister. McMahon trying to reimpose himself in the middle of the field. Here's Sheeran. Phelan. Parker watching him. Sheeran keeping the ball. Oh, that was lucky for Manchester City. And they've had a bit of luck from time to time. Sheeran tried to spray the pass wide, and Flitcroft did very well to use that as chest control. It thudded into his body.
Well, if this had gone in, I would have been down betting on City for the league, even though they are 16th at the moment. Because that would have been just too much for anyone to handle.
It's looking a long last 25 minutes for Manchester City. Protection of this 2-1 lead. 2-0 at half-time, gifting a goal to Cantona early in the second half. Keane. Here's Bruce. Now White. Flitcroft. That's the type of ball that David White loves. Didn't quite run for him. Quinn with the shot. He got his hat-trick from that position. Manchester United might have given up the ghost.
I mean, he's worth trying. Your 2 goals you've scored yourself. It drops at you 25 yards out. Certainly don't blame Niall Quinn for trying. But look how far they're dropping off now. They've actually pulled Mike Shear into the left side of midfield, which is another little sign that they're trying to protect what they have.
It's United working overtime, and with the incentive of knowing that they've changed the complexion of the game. Not far enough yet, but the signs are very encouraging for those following the team in red. You'd have to say at this stage that any one of the 3 possible outcomes could happen here.
Oh, you bet your life on that.
Bruce. The match has reached the 3-quarter mark. What a learning process it is for Richard Edgehill. Phelan. by Kanchelskis.
Well played, and the Kanchelskis. Had he gone to sleep there, feeling was in. Showed good discipline.
Quinn by the near post. Alistair right alongside him. United have pulled everyone back. Sheeran to take the corner. Edgehill. Drops for Phelan. White and Quinn are still in the middle, but the majority of Manchester City had pulled out quickly of the penalty area to get back to the halfway line, and just as well that they've done. Kanchelskis put away by Keane. Is he in for the equaliser here? Tony Coton gives a very positive answer for Manchester City. The answer is no.
Well, that's the save of the match, without a doubt. My first reaction was Kanchelskis is offside. I really thought that, but once he's away, it's all about him against the goalkeeper. He looks to slide it in, and that's a wonderful save from Tony Coton. He had to be at his best in this situation. He stays up as long as he can, doesn't commit himself too early. That's the crucial part of it, and he's able to make an excellent save.
Quinn. Mann. Now Quinn. Edgehill to the right. White wants it slipped through, just like that. And Schmeichel has emulated Coton's heroics.
Well, maybe that was saving the match. Both goalkeepers showing us in the space of a minute the real quality. White can tie the game up here for City. Kanchelskis opted for accuracy. White was opting for power.
Pushing by Vonk. Parker. Cantona. Some derbies do disappoint. This is not one of them. Kanchelskis. Keane just took his eye off the ball for a moment. Irwin, sharp loitering on the left. Manchester United well represented in the middle. It goes back for Irwin. Kanchelskis. Cantona hardly able to have a sight of the whites of the goalpost there, but he's got a corner.
I'll tell you what, the right back needs a bit of help. Richard Edgehill, only 19, and time again they're getting a 2 against 1 situation with Irwin and Sharp. Someone needs to help the kid. We really do.
Over Bruce. And that's a slice from Lee Sharp. When United have got into another promising position to work the goalkeeper. The previous time Manchester United were champions back in 1967, they lost their crown to Manchester City. It was the last time that City had such an honour. I think you back on them to succeed United this season.
I think you really need to see.
18 minutes to go. Parker. Cantona, just doing enough. Everything that City do at the moment, though, is under extreme pressure. Can they stand firm for the time that remains? Will United, after this excellent showing in the second half, start to feel the weariness of their European misadventure in midweek? Keane. Cantona. It's been Irwin available in the second half as an outlet. And he and Lee Sharp are making it difficult, as Andy was saying, for Richard Edghill. Kanchelskis. Parker. Probing. Patient play from Manchester United. Work the ball from the right to the left. City trying to stop them driving a dagger into their hearts. Pallister. Ince, finally. City intervene with Curl. Bruce, handball, was it? No, the referee indicating it was the top of the trunk. Kanchelskis. Pallister. One-way traffic. Cantona. And the City supporters can just relax for a moment and look at the clock. Alec Ferguson will be weighing up now in his mind whether to bring on Ryan Giggs. We saw him warming up earlier in the half. Since then, Kanchelskis has been involved. He's had a chance. He's done one excellent piece of defending as well against the run of Phelan. Giggs is still in waiting. Quinn being pushed deeper and deeper. Vonk. Quinn. Two to aim for on that far side. Sharp. Edghill, who had gone forward as City had the ball, needing some help, and he got it from Michel Vonk.
Well, it looks as if they've said to David White as well that you've got to be the one that's got to help Richard Edghill. And he's playing wide on the right. They've just said to Quinny, you're up front on your own. So there's no doubt this 55 minutes are prepared just to defend their 18-yard box and try and get out of this with a 2-1, and anything else would be a huge bonus for them.
Parker. Bruce. Toten can gather it in. I think you said 55 minutes, Andy. It's 15. It might seem like 55 for Manchester City.
Sorry, Martin. It might well seem like that.
And there might be torture now from a different quarter. Ryan Giggs, who didn't play well in Istanbul. He wasn't alone in that, but he lost his place as a result of his shortcomings in the European Cup. A chance for redemption now. And yet again, a rather hapless Andrei Kanchelskis is the player who doesn't finish the match. It's been the story for him so often in his time at Old Trafford. Bruce. City back off. Ince. Cantona coming very, very deep. Slid forward by Pallister. Hughes. Now Keane.
He's getting plenty of the ball, Eric Cantona, but he's dropped deeper and deeper as the second half has gone on to get involved. I mean, I think it's great to see him with possession in areas like this, and he can pass it about. But look, if you're a Manchester United fan, I think you'd far rather see him up against their back four and doing his tricks and working his little space.
Well, I suppose he will feel that there are others who are going into those areas. Whether they're the right players, of course, remains to be seen. Cantona again. It's almost as if he's got a baton in his hand and he's conducting the orchestra. Giggs, oh, it's a super ball, and Cantona is there where it matters. Two for him, two for for United. 2-2 is the score.
Well, there you go. If you stay in midfield, you can't get goals like that. Wanders into the penalty area, and that's a better sight if you're a Manchester United fan. Eric Cantona in there where it hurts. But watch Giggs here. All he does, he knows where the danger area is. He helps it in there, and there's that gap between goalkeeper and defence again. That's ever so difficult to defend. And Cantona, well, you don't expect him to miss them, do you?
Anything now Quinn can do, Cantona says I can do as well, and Ryan Giggs arrives in style with a super setup for him.
Is that his first touch, Giggs? I think it might well have been. Not a bad first touch.
Well, I talked about the last City player to get a hat-trick, Francis Lee, in 1970 in a derby game. You have to go back to 1960 to Alex Dawson, the Black Prince.
Well, 12 minutes to go. What a turnaround, Stuart. Cantona with both goals, but I think Giggs has played a big part, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, yeah. But United have totally dominated this second half and fully deserve it to be 2-2. Giggs has made the difference, come on, crossed the quality ball, but the man who's made the big difference is Eric Cantona. He had a nightmare in midweek, and we said about attitudes, and he's proving now he's just got a taste for the game.
They'll tell you they should have won it, being 2-0 up at half-time.
Problems for Irwin and for Schmeichel. Giggs. Pushed by Phelan on Hughes. He's got to take the ball back before he can take the free kick. It's early again, and Edgehill was able to angle it away. If he'd gone back, Lee Sharp was trying to catch him out. Good work by Ince, who plays like this, by the way, even when it's not a Manchester derby. Every game's a derby to him. Just to put the record straight, there have been one or two articles that he's suspended from England's game in San Marino. That is not true. And they've got his third yellow card in the group. Here's Parker. Oh, that's a wasted position.
Well, how he wishes he could have delivered a cross of this type of quality at that moment. Look at that, it's teasing, it's tempting, it's saying go on, get on the end of it. And Eric Cantona, who spent so much of this second half deep in the midfield area, has produced two quality finishes.
City, who led by 2-0, are in a position now at Maine Road of hanging on and just restricting themselves to the occasional break, but maybe one of those will catch out a buoyant Manchester United. Out by Pallister.
See, that's balmy, Mark. It really is giving free kicks away like that. I can't understand centre-backs that do it and players aren't going anywhere deep in their own half.
Tiredness?
Maybe, but it happens so often. All you're doing is encouraging more and more pressure on yourself.
Giggs. Well, back in 1947, they had the highest ever derby attendance, 78,000 here at Maine Road. Well, it's under half of that these days. But that's not totally full. The present capacity, just under 40,000. to go. Four up for United if they can get to the ball. Cantona trying to do just that with help from Hughes. Phelan. Ince. Owen. Sharp, always the option on the outside. Still Sharp. Curls header. Sharp again. Cantona's there. Giggs. Just needed a bit of fine-tuning that time.
Not much either. It was very close.
Giggs, who more than Kanchelskis, reins away from the right-hand side to give variety to United's play. It's behind Hughes. Cantona.
They really are hanging on now, Manchester City, aren't they?
Final whistle cannot come too soon, but having said that, maybe one flash of inspiration in the other half. Certainly the spectators watching from behind Tony Coton's goal have had great value, all the goals at that end of the ground. It's almost as if there's been a wind blowing the ball into this half of the pitch.
I don't think there's an awful lot City can do about it, Martin. I don't think that it's a case of hang on and hope that United don't get another goal.
It's 4 minutes left on the clock, plus any time that Robbie Hart wants to add on. Quinn, how right Brian Horton was to tell Nick Collins at half-time, but he would only say whether he'd enjoyed the experience at the end of the game. Not counting on that 2-0 lead being enough.
He certainly won't have enjoyed the second half, that's for sure. This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde performance from them. So composed and so confident the first half and so very edgy. Whether they lack belief that they could actually win the game, or whether we've not given United enough credit for their really spirited and quality comeback.
Well, that's Sharp to life. Is the comeback complete? United believe it is. Their supporters absolutely thrilled by a sensational second half showing.
Well, I said if this little young right back doesn't get some protection, they're going to get exposed. Again, it's Irwin and Sharp that combine. Hughes takes all the bullets, takes the players away, and Keane comes on. Roy Keane special, late into the box, meets it absolutely perfectly, and he slides it into the far corner. What a comeback. That, I'm sure, the final answer as to whether Wednesday night was going to hurt Manchester United more than ever. What a reply.
Absolute agony for Manchester City. But they were hanging on, and the threads just broke. Down, plummeting their hopes. Sheeran. They've got to find something strong mentally now, as well as the effort physically, to get the ball into United's territory and get it, if they can, towards Quinn. Cantona. Here's Sharp. There might be more from Manchester United. There is more football coming up from the FA Carling Premiership for you tomorrow night. Oldham against Newcastle. We start at 7. 99 years ago last Wednesday, the first derby in the league took place at Manchester City's former Hyde Road Stadium. United won that one. If they win it here, it will certainly be one for the history books. And they're very, very close.
That's a booking, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Can be nothing else but a booking for Keith Curle. Show of frustration.
Well, Robbie Hart would have expected some rough and tumble between the two sets of players. You perhaps can point a critical finger at him for the Mark Hughes episode, and maybe City will look back on that now and say, well, they should have played a 10-man United in the second half.
You see it there, he makes no attempt to play the ball where Keith Curle. The referee, what, on the left of the picture, what, 10 yards away.
Cantona, the sponsors' man of the match. They haven't had much criticism this year, Manchester United, but Alex Ferguson has had to deal with it after what happened in Istanbul. He would have had his own words of hostility to his players at half-time after a shabby first-half showing. But Manchester United have provided an answer that they can enjoy for a long, long time here on their own patch. A quite amazing victory. Roy Keane provided it after Peter Schmeichel had been beaten twice in the first half by Niall Quinn headers. Then 2 goals from Eric Cantona. You can look at a turning point, the error by Michel Vonk. Humbled in Europe, but still the masters in their own area and in their own league. In the end, it's a derby day to savour for Manchester United.
Roy, many congratulations. A terrific second-half fight back. What exactly was said at half-time?
I think basically we were on top in the first half, but we gave away 2 silly goals. Manager said keep plugging away, and yeah, there's a chance that we'll always get back into it. We just kept playing away, and luckily enough, no, we've done the business.
Your first Manchester derby, how much did you enjoy the atmosphere?
That was absolutely fantastic. I was a bit disappointed. I had a good chance in the first half, and I just hit it straight to keep it when I should have scored, and the manager had a word with me at half-time. So I was just delighted with the 3 points after the disappointment in midweek.
Well, I was going to say, a very important win from the psychological point of view to get over the disappointments of the European Cup.
Yeah, well, you know, we lost Wednesday with a bad performance, and everybody was saying that could be our downfall. But, you know, the manager said take no notice of the press and just keep playing the way we were. Lucky enough we got the 3 points today.